Hello everyone, it's Larry Warden here. I'd like to show you today how Nancy and I barbecue our baby back ribs. I'm going to show you our different procedures, the spice rub we make, how we wrap them in foil, and our cooking procedures. And in about an hour and 15 minutes, I'll show you some delicious baby back ribs. And we're going to start with a rub for the ribs, which my wife has put together called the Memphis style rib rub. And she's going to mix it all together. And the first one is a 1/4 cup of sweet paprika, followed by 4½ teaspoons of freshly ground black pepper, then 4½ teaspoons of dark brown sugar, a tablespoon of salt, tablespoon of celery salt, 1½ teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 1½ teaspoons of garlic powder, 1½ teaspoons of dry mustard, and 1½ teaspoons of ground cumin. So that is our Memphis style rib rub, which she's going to mix all together, and we'll put it rub it onto our ribs when they're just before we put them into the foil for the barbecue. Second step in the preparation of our spare ribs is for you to pull the membrane off the back of the ribs. This is very important, so your rub and your flavors will absorb into the meat while they're barbecuing. We are now ready for Nancy to apply our Memphis style rub to each side of our rack of ribs, giving it a good rub so it's absorbed into the meat before we wrap it up and put it on the barbecue. Our next step after the rub is on is we double wrap our ribs in foil with 2 layers of foil to make sure the juices don't escape while they're barbecuing. Our next step is to warm up the barbecue to medium direct heat, about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then put our foil wrapped ribs directly onto the grill, onto this direct heat. And we'll close the lid, and we're looking for about 350 degrees. We're going to leave it for about an hour. We'll probably flip them in about 30 minutes and let them cook inside that foil, so they'll cook inside the juices and the flavor. Our ribs have been cooking for about 30 minutes now on medium heat, about 350 Fahrenheit. And about halfway through, I'm going to flip the ribs over, making sure I don't poke a hole with my tongs in there. There we go. And we're going to let them cook for another 30 minutes, and then we'll check them and see how they're doing. I've just removed a pack of spare ribs from the barbecue. They've been cooking an hour at the medium heat, and I can see that they are cooked just almost perfectly. I can see the bone sticking out. So my next step is going to be, at this stage, we're going to put on some barbecue sauce. You don't want to put it on while it's in the foil, or it would burn. So I'm going to take out each pack of ribs and put some barbecue sauce on it. We're actually using one called Bullseye. So we just removed them out of the foil, and I put barbecue sauce on them. And now I'm going to leave them in for about 4 or 5 minutes aside, just to let that barbecue sauce cook into the meat. I'm just trying a piece of our spare rib. They've been cooking for about an hour in the foil, and about another 5 minutes aside with the barbecue sauce on them after I remove from the foil. And they are done perfectly. They're so tender, they just fall off the bone. Anyway, that's how Nancy and I make our baby back barbecued spare ribs. Try it, see how it works out for you. Thank you.